What's going on, everyone? So today on Puddin's Fab Shop, we're boxing up the frame of the Travelall. Let's get started. So yesterday I got out here, I worked all day, it was great. I love you guys and thanks for watching, but the days I get to just work in the shop and not have to worry about moving a camera around is awesome. I can get a lot done. So what I did, I cleaned up inside the frame rail as best as I could. It'd be nice to have the frame sandblasted, but I don't want to wait. So grinder wheels on my little cordless drill, on the grinder, roll locks, flapper disc, you name it. I used it to get the frame as clean as possible. And once you get it cleaned up, make sure to get all the dust off of it, degrease it good, and paint it with something. I like to use Van Sickle paint. This is a tractor paint I can get local to me for like $3.99 a can. It has Rust Arrestor in it, and it does a badass job. It sets up nice and solid, lasts forever. It's just a good cheap paint. Some of the other prep work you'll have to do for doing it the way I'm gonna box it is the edge of your frame, top and bottom, both sides. You'll have to go and bevel the edge of the frame, and I'll bring you over here and show you why. You can see my boxing plate has a bevel to it, and the frame has a bevel to it. Creates a nice area to be able to set a weld. So that's what we're trying to accomplish today. And I saved this panel or area to be last because we do have to cut a little hole for the shifter rod. All these were pretty well straightforward. Nothing really too complicated about them. These back panels, I did have to cut a hole right there that allows access for the sway bar, and I did break the end at a 90 to cap that in, but let's get going on this one. So once inside your frame's cleaned up and you got the edge beveled on the frame, next thing you want to do is take some scrap metal and we're going to clamp it to the bottom of the frame here. This is the only area that I did add a little cross member to hold everything, just because it was the longest stretch without one. So I just clamped that there and tacked it on just for a little extra support. That'll allow us a place to be able to set that plate down to. So once you have those pieces there to be able to set your metal on, I already have this template from doing the driver's side, and pretty simple. I mean, you just cut your cardboard till it matches, obviously. You can see this one's not long enough, so what I did was from where this quit going straight, I put me a mark right there, 14 3/4, and that needs to line up off of that cross member. So now I'll mark off of here, 14 3/4, and kind of fit this up. As far as the little hole that needs to be there for that shifter, we won't worry about that until we get this built out of metal. So all this is matching up pretty good. So next we need to take it and cut it out some metal. So my template is a little off. It was the same on the other side. So basically, if I push this down back here, this is too high. If I match that, that's too high. But if I split the difference and notch that out right there where that can drop down a little bit. I can offset it to where it needs to be, and then I'm gonna trace around there and grind this thing down to the shape it needs. So I was grinding away and the camera died. But basically when you get done, you got a big ass lawnmower blade here. I did this yesterday around the fuel filler pipe that goes through the frame to be able to mark it. It's kind of hard to get a marker down in there. So just kind of spray that down in there and let it mark itself basically. Alright, I've had it with this thing. Well, everything looks pretty good right there. All that will definitely weld. That's another good thing about doing it this way. You can clamp it up down through there, and as long as it's touching, you can lay that weld on, work it back and forth, basically cap the whole thing. That did move me forward a little bit back here, but that gap's weldable, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna start tacking this thing in. So here's another challenge with doing these front plates, which is why I also wanted to wait and show y'all this. This tapers in more than the top does. So it's not really a big deal because we're using an 1/8 inch plate. We can work this over, and I'm basically gonna tack it right here. I'm gonna squeeze what I can with clamps where I'm not having to hammer it. But on that other side, it did end up in one little spot where I had to give it a couple taps. But most of this will suck over the C-clamp. So I forgot something on this side. On that side, I did the template and it was too long, kind of overhung like what you're seeing here. And I trimmed it down. I forgot to trim this one down. It'll be all right. I kind of drew me a line where I want to cut it, and I'm gonna get it with the cutoff wheel. Alright, so now that I got those all tacked up, I'm going to weld them up. To weld them up, what I did yesterday and had real good luck with, didn't hear no warping sounds, it didn't move any that I can tell. I marked about every 6 inches along those, and I just did 6 inches a side at a time and let it cool off. So that's what I'm going to do now. So to weld this, I have the heat kind of cranked up where I'm having to, normally you'd have to kind of move fast to keep it from burning out. But instead of moving fast out of it, what I'm doing is just taking my wire and kind of working it backwards back onto itself. And if you keep it right there, you can see it burning together good. And it'll kind of mound up the weld, which mounding it up sounds weird, but when we go to grind this, you'll see why it's beneficial.
Now we gotta weld up, we grind it smooth. So let's do it.
So when I grind this, I'm not really gonna work this thing around the corner. I'm gonna keep the flapper flat to the frame on the top and the side. And then I may do one little pass to knock off the edge, but to knock the edge off, I like doing it with the little roll lock wheel. That way you don't take off a lot of metal.
Next rules, this was an 80-degree plan. It's like it spins around and you go around and get all the dusty off. Like, see? You see all this, guys?
I can see you.
So, you see all that? All that stuff? We're gonna make it like this. Like, so shiny like this. And get all the dust off. So, let's do it. Okay, so again, it's super heavy. I cannot even carry it. So it does this, and it makes super loud sound. It's so clean. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at all that rainbowish. Dad does good. Like, he's my dad. You know that. Look at all those shiny lines.
Give me a thumbs up.
That is a good thumbs up.
So hopefully in some of that video you can see how this frame dips down in areas. That's the advantage of boxing this frame like this. It really don't matter because we're matching our plate to it. If you wanted your frame straight, I would do it before you built all your suspension and everything. You don't want to start tweaking on this frame now that everything's fit up into place. The other way of boxing, where you slide it actually inside the frame rail and leave a little lip, you can do it that way. I just think this way looks better. So hopefully this helps. Doing the top will be no different. I'm gonna have to flip this frame, weld the whole thing, smooth it out just the same. But before I flip this thing over, I need to clean up inside these body mounts. I need to clean up the front frame because it's all dirty. And I don't want to have to be flipping this thing back and forth, so that's what I'm going to do now.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Go subscribe on YouTube and turn on patience. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, learned something, got an idea. Hopefully this helps you out. If you're new to the channel, please check out some of the other videos. If you always come back, thank you guys for coming and watching my videos. If you want to help the channel out, all you got to do is drop a comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. All those things help. So I always appreciate it when you do that. If you're on Instagram, I'm on there at Puddin's Fab Shop. And I'll see you in the next video, where we'll probably be putting some stuff in paint, I'm assuming.
Yes. What else are you gonna say?
What else? The last thing we always tell them.
What?
Sitting on your butt won't finish your project. I'll see you guys next time.
So go to Tom.